Welcome to LifeSource Health Report, where we assist you to holistically thrive in all ways, body, mind and soul. Get ready for our best tips, tricks and suggestions, including product reviews from all over the world.
Hi, this is Terry Lynn with LifeSource for the Health News. Today I wanted to give a testimonial about a product line that I've been using for quite some time and that I wanted to share with the audience. This particular line is called, oh, and by the way, we have my mystery cameraman, and we're also going to be inviting him into the discussion if he wants.
Hello.
So the name of the company is RNA RESET. And it's a company that was started by a woman named Carolyn Dean. And she started her line of products because she is and was doing a ton of research on specifically magnesium. And she became one of the leaders in magnesium research. She has a ton of stuff for free on the internet that you can read, some ebooks. And I'm sure she has some books for sale as well. She's been around a while. She's been in the field. She is a former MD. She's a homeopath, I believe, a naturopath, maybe a couple other things. She's got a lot of accolades to her. So what she was finding is that there was a need for specifically magnesium because she had been researching it. I don't remember the reasons why, specifically for her own health, but she was realizing that magnesium was so important for health because it's involved in so many activities in the body, enzymatic reactions, and just involved with so many things that the body has to do that if you are depleted in magnesium, there's so many things that just don't happen. So the problem was that the magnesium supplements that were on the market were not absorbable at a high enough level. So most of what you were purchasing and taking was kind of going down the toilet. It wasn't being absorbed. Like we're talking like the high percentages number. Like I think the highest percentage of absorbability in one of them is 30%. So that wasn't good enough for her. And so what she did, and this is why this line is so different and unique, is that she patented a process, or had a hand in patenting at least, a process that makes picometer sized minerals. Now we're all deficient in minerals. This is not in the soil anymore. The food that we're eating is not giving us the minerals that we need, and we need a lot of good minerals in our diet daily. And so even if you're eating the best food, maybe if you're even growing your own food, which is the best ever that we can possibly do, people still seem to be deficient in minerals. And magnesium being, I would say, like one of the most important, if not the most important one. And so she patented a process to make the pieces of the mineral themselves really small. So most people have heard about nano-sized particles, teeny tiny little particles. Picometer-sized particles, I meant to look this up and I forgot, but are super, super more tiny than nano-sized particles. And the picometer size gets into the cells, 100% absorbability in a picometer-sized mineral, for instance. So that's huge. So every little bit of this product gets absorbed into your tissues, into your cells, so you won't waste anything. So I started with the magnesium, and you can see I have a lot of these products. These are not all mine. Some of these are my cameraman's. But the magnesium was what I started with. I do have heart-related issues, and they were worse years ago. I became a lot more flexible. My muscles weren't as tense. My heart seemed to be functioning better. Gut-wise, I was better. And so that was the product, and that usually is the flagship product that most people start with. So there's that one. And I'm just going to really quickly go through some of the ones that we have on hand here. Remite is another one that's really popular. It does have magnesium in it. She developed this particular one because it has 12 minerals for cellular function and 9 minerals that support thyroid and adrenals. Really huge for most people today. So I started taking the Remite to help with my thyroid. I used to be hypothyroid. I'm not anymore, probably. I haven't been tested recently, but if I am, it's negligible. So remite's another good one that has a combination of minerals in it. Just a little bit of magnesium, not enough for you, but it's there. She does have a picometer size zinc, which I take pretty much every day. And again, it's 100% absorbable at the cellular level, so it's really effective. She has her pico silver, which a lot of people like. It's pretty popular. I used to take this internally. I don't really anymore. Mostly it's for topical use. So we do have, however, that. And you know what, I might say, a lot of people are familiar with the colloidal silvers, right? This is colloidal in that it's in a liquid. It's dissolved in a liquid, but the size of the silver, instead of being a nanoparticle, which I think most of them on the market are, this one's picometer sized. I think it makes all the difference. So this is a pretty good choice in my opinion. And then this one is potassium, which hardly anybody gets enough of. And even if you buy potassium in the stores, in the bottles, one dose is only going to be 3%. And there's some kind of weird law with that they can't go over a certain amount per dose. So at least with this one, I can like pour it in if I want to. Even this per dose, she has to dose it at a 4th teaspoon, and it's only 2%, which is 99 milligrams. I think that's what all of the ones in the stores and the bottles are, 99 milligrams. But you know, you have full power and just put more in, you know, your water. So how you take these do have a little bit of a slight taste. And so I usually put them in my jar of water for half the day. I do a jar of water half the day and another jar the other half the day, and a big jar. And I put in usually vitamin C, but it could be some other powder or something that kind of flavors the water. And I usually put a pinch of sea salt in there as well for various reasons. Electrifies the water, helps the magnesium to get into the cells. So you'll read that in Carolyn Dean's book. And then I kind of sip it throughout the day. So that kind of hides the taste a little bit, but these are going to have a little taste. And generally, to be honest, I don't use all of these in the same, you know, jar every day. Some of these I cycle a little bit, especially the Remite. But a couple of the other products that are a little bit newer. This is a Flora Revive. I do not have any experience with this one. This happens to be the Mystery Man. And it looks like it is got some, if I can read this, Saccharomyces boulardii, which is a probiotic in the 10 billion CFUs, humic fulvic acid, preparatory blend, inulin, which is a prebiotic, barley seed powder, which barley seed powder is something really specific to her company, and I don't even have time to go into that right now. I don't know if you've done the research on that, Carolyn. Okay, so that's a really special ingredient. She sells that just by itself, called the Reputable. Yeah, very expensive. I used to be on it, and I felt great. But for her to have that in any of these products is definitely a benefit and boost. And you should, if you're interested, you should really do some reading on what that is. Not you necessarily, but the audience. Mm-hmm. So then there's Realign. I do take this daily. It's methylated B vitamins. And it has, I think, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 8 of them. And then a couple amino acids, taurine and L-methionine. I forgot to say that. Methionine. But yeah, so I take these every day. So I just wanted to present that as a testimonial that I've used these for years. Magnesium, I was starting this product probably maybe 6 years ago. It's been a long time. And in my practice that I have professionally, I have a lot of clients that have taken it too, have started on the products and have good results. So not only with myself, but friends, clients, family members. And eventually, I think we're going to get an affiliate link set up with LifeSource. So if you want to support us that way, we can put the link down below so that you can check out our products, and we will get a little bit of a kickback for that so that we can continue to keep providing some great information. It just helps us. So did you have any questions, cameraman?
Yeah, I heard a rumor that the silver turns your skin blue.
Oh, this won't turn your skin blue. So the people that had that happen to years ago, what that was is they were taking a silver, I believe it was a colloidal silver nano, I believe, but they're making it, I think they were making it at home, which is fine, kind of. But you need to be careful because those silver pieces were not absorbable like they should have been, and so it accumulated in the body, and eventually turned their skin blue, and that is irreversible. So yeah, so that's what happened there.
And the other day, during Carolyn Dean's broadcast, she mentioned something about ankle swelling and one of her products, and I can't remember which one she mentioned, but I have a friend who has kidney problems and he's on diuretics.
Yeah, that's not a good thing to be on diuretics. Did she mention potassium and sea salt?
I think so, sea salt.
Yeah. So potassium and sea salt work together, one's inside the cell, one's outside the cell. And if there's an imbalance, you can get some water retention. You can get low energy from that. You really need salt. People think that salt is a bad thing in your diet. Bad salt's a bad idea. But good salt, like sea salt, that has more minerals in it, the natural minerals, is good salt. And so that doesn't cause a problem like the kind of table salt that most people get in their diets with, not just the kind you buy, but the restaurant food, things like that. So kind of two totally different things. You can cause some problems there.
Any things that help the eyes?
As far as minerals go?
Minerals.
Magnesium, I heard, okay, so he mentioned on Carolyn Dean's, I don't know if you said show, but she has does she still have the radio show once a week?
I don't know. This was a little different than what I would call a radio show, but it could have been.
Okay, she used to have a radio show. It was every Monday. You could call in. I actually called in once and asked a question where she would just give information out. And I think she's still doing them, but she has a lot that are already recorded. So I remember she talked a lot about cataracts and how she was a firm believer that cataracts were caused by calcium getting caught in places that it shouldn't get caught. And we know that happens in arteries, joints, calcium deposits, on these, what they call bone spurs. So I'm glad you brought this up, because actually what magnesium, one of the main reasons why I took it as well and have been, is that she claims, and it makes sense, that if you get the right kind of calcium, it's absorbable at the cellular level, it can dissolve the calcium deposits, the things that aren't the calcium where it's deposited where it shouldn't be, and then it get excreted through the body. Because the calcium that we kind of builds up is not the kind of calcium that is absorbable. We drink milk, and I don't want to get into all that, but it's kind of calcium that's not really usable, and so it kind of gets stuck. And so with the eyes, to answer your question, she claims that if you take enough calcium over a period of time, that can also dissolve the cataracts. I don't have cataracts. I don't have anybody that I know personally, but yeah, so that is something that she does talk about.
And is it safe to use all these minerals if you're a faster, intermittent fasting person?
Yeah, I think it's important to use them when you're fasting. Because when you're fasting, you will lose electrolytes. I would probably tell somebody to use this one if they're fasting, because it has the, I think it's 10, the plethora, all kinds of minerals in here. And maybe that's what especially intermittent fasting. If I was full out water fasting, which I am going to do a video on that too, full out water fasting, I probably wouldn't. But yeah, so it's a great idea, because that way you keep your electrolytes up and you can remain hydrated. I would even put a little bit of salt, like I mentioned, if you're intermittent fasting in the water in the morning, a little bit of this, as well. Yeah. Have you found that helps you, or you've noticed?
I've been intermittent fasting for 3 years, and I started this product with Carolyn Dean a year ago, and I have very little problems. If I overdose, I have a little problem.
Yeah.
but it's not been bad.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about that, because are you talking about the magnesium or the zinc?
I think it's the magnesium.
Okay. Because one day you took the zinc on an empty stomach and you got really nauseous. Yeah.
I got sick.
But yeah, so you can't. He took too much. He took one dose.
Like a shot glass.
I was like, you can't do that. So no, the magnesium. So here's the thing with magnesium is they generally tell you, just like vitamin C, to take magnesium to bowel tolerance, and then you know that you've had enough. It's the same with this product. However, when you take other magnesium supplements to bowel tolerance, what's happening is it's not being absorbed into your gut, and so it's just trying to get it out, and so that's more of a laxative effect from that. It can help you to have regular bowel movements, but is that really the kind of bowel movements that you want just because it's trying to excrete something that you've taken? Yeah, that's not ideal. So what she says is to take this as well to bowel tolerance. But to have the laxative effect with this is very difficult. And have you had the laxative effect with this? Okay.
But it was early on, almost at the beginning.
Were you doing it in one dose?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I never did it in one dose like that, but I was taking up to 4 tablespoons a day. Now, that is a very high dose. I was taking it throughout the day. But I was so magnesium depleted. I was so stressed out at that time. I had so many issues going on. And I just kept upping. Now, you don't start with that. Hear me. You don't start like that. You start slow because you can get a little itching. I've never had that. But I was so depleted. I know this because I never had the laxative effect. So I slowly titrated up to 4 tablespoons. And I kept that going for, gosh, it must have been 6 months, maybe even a year. I needed to heal. There's a lot of things that needed to heal. And I think that was part of my very important journey of healing. So I never got the laxative effect. My bowel movements I tend to be slower in the peristalsis. You know, things move slow with me. So definitely an improvement there. So yeah, that is something to know even with this product. If you have to run to the bathroom, then for some reason, yeah, you've got to slow it down. But generally, that doesn't happen with this one.
Well, that was all I had.
Okay. Well, thanks for watching. And this is Terry Lynn with Life Source with the health news. And I wish you the best health ever.
You've been watching a Life Source Health Report. To purchase the products, please see the affiliate links in our episode description, where a tiny amount is donated back to support the production of our shows. To connect with us or to see our other shows, please head to lifesource.global. And don't forget to hit the like, subscribe and share buttons. This show is brought to you by Source Light Productions.